Broncos country, NFL fans, welcome to David Talks Broncos. We're going to break down not only the few signings that were related to the Denver Broncos, free agents coming in and going elsewhere, but we'll break down a lot of the big news, the big signings from the entire day one of NFL free agency. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe as we're on our way, well on our way to 500 subs. Greatly appreciated. All the support. Thank you so much. And a big shout out to Mike Kliss. Wow. I got a follow from Mike Kliss on Twitter. That's pretty cool because, Mike, if you ever see this, you don't follow a lot of people on Twitter. So I really do appreciate that. Shows me that I'm doing something right here with what I'm doing with Broncos and Buffs news. But let's go ahead and get to it. I thought in order to celebrate, I would throw in some tweets from Mike Kliss, and y'all be sure to let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. But Wil Lutz, after initially agreeing to a 3-year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Wil Lutz decided to, I'm going to pull Randy Gregory, and I'm going to come to Denver. Heck yes. Wil Lutz back in Denver. I like this because we also gave up a draft pick for this guy, so it would really suck to see him go in free agency after just 1 year. So I'm glad that it worked out for him to stay. I would imagine that's because we gave him a higher AAV, average annual value, than what he was getting from the Jaguars, I'm guessing, or more guaranteed money. That could be a thing because the Walton Penner Group, we should be able to outbid a lot of people on the guaranteed money. All of that could be a possibility, but I'm glad that the kicking game isn't going to be something that the Broncos are going to have to worry about this year. I thought Wil Lutz, outside of those first, that first game, I thought he did a pretty good job, but man, that first game, it was so disastrous. But let's go ahead and get into some of the other news, and let me know, guys, was there a surprise signing or surprise move that really shocked you? Let me know. I think one, Lloyd Cushenberry going to Tennessee was something that I didn't see. 4-year, $50 million contract, $26 million guaranteed. Wow, it's a lot of money for Cush. $12.5 million. So he did very, very well for himself. Congratulations. And we'll start from the top two. Kirk Cousins getting another massive deal. Now, about the same age as Russell Wilson, coming off of an Achilles tear, though. And man, 4 years, 180, $100 million guaranteed, 90 of that guaranteed at signing. Good Lord. His agent, is that Brandon McCartney's father, B-Mac, friend of the Buffs show, David Talks Buffs. Kind of money that, his dad's absolutely killing it. So, anyways, Kirk Cousins, big-time signing. And then the Las Vegas Raiders. This one hurt because Christian Wilkins is a really good player. Depending on how much cap space we cleared prior to free agency, I was hoping we could have made like a big defensive tackle signing. But this is a lot of money that we definitely could not afford right now. Christian Wilkins going to the Raiders, $84 million guaranteed. Wow. $84.75 million guaranteed. Wow. A few other signings that was pretty crazy. Xavier McKinney going over to the Giants for $17 a year. Wow. That is top-end safety money for sure. See Chidobe Awuzie. Man, I would have loved for him to come back to Denver, but hey, we got other needs that we need to fill right now. I don't know if we're going to sign a veteran corner, at least not in a wave one corner. Seeing him go to Tennessee, Saquon Barkley going to Philadelphia, staying in the NFC East. Philadelphia dropping a mad amount of money, almost $38 million on Saquon Barkley. That offense is looking loaded. Let's see how they do in the draft and later on with free agency and filling out this team's defense, because I feel like they also really need some work on defense. Josh Jacobs going to the Packers. Green Bay normally doesn't make free agent signings, but hey, they made some splashes today. Oh, yeah, I'm totally messed this up. Xavier McKinney going from the Giants to Green Bay. Need to correct myself there. And they also got Josh Jacobs. And yeah, he's a beast. I'm very thankful that he's out of the AFC West because he would run for like 200 yards against my Broncos every single time. Gabe Davis leaving Buffalo to go to Jacksonville for almost $40 million. Good for him. We'll see what move they make now. Buffalo, it might be nice for y'all to look at Cortland Sutton. He won't be as expensive as T. Higgins. I think I'd be willing to retain some of that salary if we could get a second-round pick. What do you think about that? Y'all let me know. Am I crazy for proposing that idea, Broncos fans? Gardner Minshew, though. This one hurts. Brandon Perna tweeted this out. Pain. Yes. I love Gardner Minshew. I don't want to see him play for the Raiders. Going to be really interesting. Him and then Aiden O'Connell behind him. So I think we can assume that the Raiders aren't going to be picking a quarterback in the first round. Maybe I'm wrong, though, but I'm excited to see Gardner Minshew from just like a fantasy football perspective to see how he does in Las Vegas. Tony Pollard to Tennessee. DeAndre Swift to Chicago. Noah Fant was somebody that I was hoping we could target, but this was too expensive for us. $10.5 million a year, 2-year contract, staying with Seattle, 21 total. Wow. Now, Leonard Floyd going from Buffalo to San Francisco. This is another really interesting signing. San Francisco continuing to bolster up that defense. Brandon Jones, I've done a video on him. I'll link it at the end. Really like this signing. I think it's a great bargain. Let's see here. Antonio Gibson to New England. That sucks. Devin Duvernay, one of the best returners in the league, going to Jacksonville. Gus Edwards coming out here to the Chargers with Austin Eckler, of course, going to the Commanders. That's going to be very, very interesting. And was there any other? Jonnu Smith was another tight end target that I was curious if we'd be able to bring on. And he signed a pretty affordable contract, a 2-year deal. Yeah, 2-year deal, about $8.5 million. But I'm confused how they structured. Oh, that's just the guaranteed at signing, all that. Yeah. So Jonnu Smith did really well for himself. And I wish we could have signed a tight end like that. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see if we can get anybody else. Of course, Russell Wilson, the $1.2 million guaranteed. Ronald Darby off to Jacksonville. And that's pretty much it for day one. Notable signings that I wanted to point out. Isaiah Oliver, interesting with the New York Jets, but still a lot of good guys available. We saw that David Bakhtiari is moving on from Green Bay. So I imagine he wants to compete for a championship. But hey, let's say we move on from Garrett Bowles. Could David Bakhtiari be a stopgap left tackle for us for a couple years on a cheaper contract? Maybe. I would imagine he's still going to be asking for really good money, though. So we'll have to see. And maybe some other corners we can bring in to continue to compete with Riley Leonard as well as Jaquan McMillan. Maybe we look at somebody like J.C. Jackson. Not totally sure, but excited to see where Justin Simmons ends up. And I think that's about all I really have right now on possible free agent targets. I'm just trying to keep an open mind because I think we're going to make a lot of under-the-radar signings. And I'm just hoping that we can fill out the front seven just a little bit, bring in some more interior D-line talent, maybe sign an affordable linebacker like Alex Singleton was for us originally. That was a cheap contract, and we extended him. So maybe we're able to trade Cortland Sutton to Buffalo for a second-round pick if we retain some salary, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Let's continue to move forward with this rebuild. Let's get younger. Let's get rid of our higher contracts. A lot of our higher contracts we'll just have to see. But I'll tell you what, that Zach Allen deal doesn't look nearly as bad right now with some of the money these D linemen we're getting right now in day one. I'll tell you that. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. I will be back soon, maybe even as soon as tonight for another video. Really appreciate your time. Please be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments on the way out. Subscribe and go Broncos.